showtime, folks.
Sir, have you been drinking? What? Sir, have you been drinking? I can't hear you. Put your window down.
Oh, okay. Now I can hear you.
Have you been drinking?
I have. A soda from the koozie in the Cardboard Creeper garage koozie.
I thought this thing had crank windows.
It did, but guess what? It doesn't anymore. Watch the video and you'll see how we did it.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now you may notice this is a different vehicle than the 3 vehicles that we've worked on this channel. So,
I'm going to give you a big introduction. This is a project that we bought 3-4 years ago or whatever.
Closer to 5 probably.
I don't know. Anyway, it's a 1996 would be C2500, it's 2-wheel drive. Cheyenne. It was a long bed because they never made a short bed in the 25 or 35.
So I will give you a picture of what this thing used to look like.
We'll pop a picture up of what it looked like whenever I brought it home. Anyway, it was kind of a project that you can buy like square bodies and like the generations before that, long beds, and they make kits to shorten them up to make short beds. Everybody wants short beds. Nobody makes one to do it on an OBS. So I thought, well, how hard could it be? So basically, we took that truck, shortened it. I bought a short step-side bed to put on it. And if you notice, it still has 8 lug wheels. It has like the 9.5 semi-float 14 bolt in it, which actually has now a Detroit locker and 456 gears in the back. The whole truck got repainted. It was red when we bought it, but the bed was
just
completely
kind
different color
over time.
So under here we have just your traditional Vortec 5.7. The only things we've done to it is I removed the AC because at some point I'm going to rebuild this engine. I actually have a supercharger on the shelf waiting to go on it. So stock motor, all it has is like the cold air intake, which was on there whenever we bought it. One of the other things we did, which we've done several times, we put electric fans on it. Got rid of the clutch fan, and also did the 411 PCM upgrade, so had a little bit more able to tune it here with HP tuners. Since this was 96, you can't hook HP tuners into it. Let's see, it's been lowered. The original springs that were on the truck, we took 2 springs out.
Plus the overload.
The overload, yeah, plus that. So it brought the back end down. The front springs, I can't even tell you what they're out of, but it brought the front down perfectly. Let's see, what else? Interior. The interior was a regular bench seat. I bought these seats out of a Suburban. This is a power seat on this side, and also had the flip down armrest. I put a 120 mile an hour dash cluster in it.
I have an Escalade.
Yeah, I have an Escalade. Changed the steering wheel. See, there's a stereo in it. Changed all the factory speakers, and there's a sub back here. Let's see, what else?
Shifter.
Oh yeah, the shifter. Check that out. It's pretty cool. I haven't made a boot for it yet, but I made the shifter itself is a B&M hammer, and instead of putting it up on a riser, I chose to use like socket pieces. There's like the hand ratchet and the extension, and used a 1/4 extension for the reverse lockout and stuff, and it puts it up really nice whenever you're driving. Put your arm on the armrest, works out really good. I did put headers. It's got Flowmaster Super 10s, which are fine if you want to scare the shit out of somebody, like when you're driving by them, but they honestly are kind of annoying. So I do plan to switch them out. And that's pretty much it.
It doesn't have all the fancy options. It's pretty much the base of the base model with air conditioning. crank windows.
Not anymore.
Manual locks. You know,
Basically, the whole point behind this truck is
nothing fancy.
Kind of a draggy racer kind of thing. Not like a dedicated one. I still want to make it streety. But it's a work in progress. But it's come a long way, especially whenever you look at where we started from. So anyway, so that's where we're at.
So what you doing?
Well, the new project we're starting today is my 96 sport truck does not have power windows or power locks. Now, I don't give two shits about the locks, but power windows would be nice. So one of the guys that we get a lot of OBS parts from had these assemblies that has the actuators and their power windows, power locks, and I bought a kit off eBay that has the switches and all the wires and everything else for like 22 bucks or whatever. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put power windows in my race truck.
No way!
And we're gonna keep the manual locks because I don't give a shit about that, but I do want power windows because I'm old and lazy and I like touching.
Plus, it's a pain in the ding ding if
yes,
someone
if you're
rolls
by
down your
yourself
window
or something, and you gotta like reach over and blah blah blah. So, scored these, everything. Both of these were what, 10 bucks? I think.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Jordan, if you're watching this. Thank you again. So, right now what we're doing is just removing all the old wiring harness that we're not going to need.
That's what you're doing.
Well, anyway,
I'm drawing out
door
rivets
handles and lock solenoids and stuff that we know we're not going to need, and make sure these motors work. And if so, then we will start ripping the truck apart and
cool.
start switching things over and making connections.
Oakley.
Alright, so we're in the process of doing this window conversion thingy, and I was going through this wiring kit and I was adding some loom to it because part of it had like this rubber crap on, some of it didn't. So I figured we had rolls and rolls of this shit, so I was going to use it up. But then I thought, you know what, let's take a minute and talk about this thing, because I got this off eBay. It is actually a pretty neat kit if anybody's looking to do this sort of a conversion. It's Brock U95610003S, and it comes with this entire wiring harness. This goes to the driver's door, this goes to under your dash to power everything, this goes over to the passenger door. Now, on both ends, they didn't put connectors on here so to make it easier to feed everything into the door. Once you get where it goes, then you snap these on, and once you have those snapped on, they either snap, like this is the passenger side window thing, and it would just go click. This is the driver, has both switches. And another thing that's really cool about this kit is, like for instance on this truck, where the main handle cranky thing was, is just a hole. So these are going to go over where those were. And what's cool is they send you templates, one for the single switch, one for the double switch. So you can just put them on there, you know where to drill your holes in your door panels, and then screws them in from the back. Everything is just plug and play after that. And the power section of this thing, it already has an inline fuse and stuff in it, so all you need is ground and power. Boom. So, pretty cool kit.
Okay, so I have the black inner door skin thing off of here. It's actually really easy. You just rip the bolts out and disconnect all your rodages for your locks and your doors handles, and whenever you get it loose, and you slide the thing forward to get the front roller out of the track, and then you slide it backward to get the rear roller out of the track, and it's just that easy. And it's locked in there because it can't come out of the tracks. The bottom of the door, so you know this is actually a really smart design. GM, good job. What do you got going on?
I'm getting one of these connectors on these wires for the motor. I'm going to put ends on it.
Cool.
And put some loom on here and fasten it back to this thing here so it stays out of the way of the regulator. And
cool.
Then it's time to slot this back on here.
Cool.
Alright, Ethan, show the kids what you did.
Well, panel is in here, and now with the power probe, we have
so now you flip the wires backwards.
Reverse polarity.
So putting the first switch in the door panel, and of course, like I said, it came with this template, so I just put it here. Here's the way the wires come in the bottom of that thing. I kind of shifted it up in the hole where the window crank used to be, and this thing's plenty big enough to cover the hole. So there's 4 screws that come in from the back side, so just got to get this lined up in place, put the screws in it, and boom, we have a window switch.
Okay, so door scan is back on, and I have jankily connected the other switch because it turns out that you can't run this one unless the other switch is plugged in. So now we have a power window
And a race truck.
and a race truck. And it works great. And since we have the other switch connected, the switch over here works as well, because I can operate that window from over here. So all we need to do is actually connect things together and do this one still. But it's a good start. Okay, jump cut here. This side's together. I didn't film anything over here, mostly because I was just trying to get it done, because it's warm and it's getting pretty late today. So I still gotta put this kick panel on and shove this extra wire like inside the A-pillar or something. But now, turn on the key. The switches actually light up too. And it gets controlled on this side. And we get the window over here. Functions. So the first time ever this truck has power windows that function with switches and not power probes. Super! Super! Okie dokie, it is now time to move on to the fog lights. Okay, so first step to doing this is you have to cut the factory connectors off of the fog lights, because the GM connectors are different from the connectors on that fog light harness. We got things kind of starting to route into place. We got wires coming down past the storage box down to the fog lots. I have it zip tied to the tranny lines that do go to that tranny cooler, and I'm going to just work my way across to help hold things into their respective places. And it just comes up around, have the fuse and that relay just kind of tucked in there for the moment, because we didn't feel the need to really mount it. This ground wire is just going to go where the bolt that holds this neck for the washer tank in is, and then this wire comes through the cab into the switch, which we're probably going to put near that cargo light thingy. Then there's a red wire that runs across here that is going to go on one of the auxiliary poles that are on the fuse block. So that's where we're standing at for right now. Okay, so all the work out here is pretty much done with the ground wire hooked up to the core support up here with just a professional self-tapper. Then the constant hot wire just goes into the auxiliary A part of the fuse block. Now, there's a white wire that needs run through the cab of the truck, so down by the steering column there was a convenient little hole with a grommet. It's hard to see, but it ran up through, and then I zip tied it up to these wires. Right now I'm trying to figure out how to run it up to here, because the way we're trying to do it, the cargo light switch goes in these 3 little slots right here, and the cargo light switch itself actually sits in the middle. I'm hoping to put it in one of these blank spots, but
just carve away a little bit of this crap.
Yeah,
that's what I'm working on now.
If that doesn't work, where the 4x4 switch goes, there actually is a blank spot that doesn't need any carving, just a hole made.
It's blank.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm like exactly, it's going to be easier.
It would be a lot easier. Just draw a hole and
I'm screwing around with this one. Yep. Yeah, I'll take that one and modify it then.
Okay. So we'll be back later. So, as we had said before, we kind of changed our planes up and moved this to the 4-wheel drive plug instead of the cargo light thing. So now, I used the circuit prober that we got to make sure that our Haynes manual was correct, because it didn't break it down by like 96 and later and stuff. But this brown wire is the wire that goes to the parking light switch. There's a red wire here. It has a little three-way tie thing already kind of pre-installed on it that is just gonna go in here, so that way it supplies power to the switch whenever you turn on your parking lights. And then there's a ground wire that just gets grounded to anywhere under the dash, really. And the white wire that actually goes out from the switch to give power to the parking lights. So pretty self-explanatory, and just gotta put all the dash pieces and stuff back together. So it's getting there. Okay, interior and stuff is all back together. Rest of the wires are ran. There's our little fog light switch. So now, the way this works, if you turn your parking lights on and you come over here and flick, you get a little green light, and you get your fog lights. Now this one's still a little dim. That one wasn't working. Bulb suspect.
It's definitely suspect. It was broken.
Yeah. I'm wondering if maybe the reason why this is so dim is it's got some kind of deflector thing.
Yeah.
It looks brighter from the side, but
I can find LED replacement for these. Bringing it into this century.
That kind of does it for our little fog light project for right now.
Yeah,
but they work.
It's done. Just gotta get new bulbs.
And I gotta say, it was fairly easy to run the wires.
Well, making it pretty takes out the bulb.
That too. Okay, that does it for this video. I hope it helped to give some helpful information on maybe converting things, OBS's to power windows, or doing fog light wiring crap. But if we can do it, anybody can, because we're the nitwits. So, hope you enjoyed, and like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Would love the support.